Okay, so let me start this video with the details of the process that I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to find all the processes that are deployed to my tenant and see what is the trigger interval for them. So currently the existing process which we normally see is if I want to see the trigger interval for each of my process, what I need to do, I need to go to the orchestrator. I need to go and go to each of the individual folders, go to the processes, and then try to see what is the trigger interval and so on. So it's really cumbersome, and especially if I have multiple processes, multiple folders, it will take a lot of time. So what we have done is I've created a utility or automation through which I'll get all these details in a single place. So this is how it will look. I'll have the process name. I'll have the folder on which it is deployed, and I'll have a summary of the triggers. So for example, this one is triggered at 8 a.m. only on Monday to Friday. So 8 a.m. Monday to Friday, that's why I have an entry here. I have an entry from Monday to Sunday, and here I will be able to see when the process is running. Similarly, this process is running at 11 a.m. only on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's why I have entry here, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And this one is 12 a.m. only on Friday, so I have an entry here. I also have the corresponding cron expression. Certain processes are not running on a weekly basis and they are special cases. So suppose this one, it runs at 4:45, sorry, on the last Sunday of the month. So that's why there's no point showing that process here. And what I've done is I've highlighted it separately in this red font. Similarly, there's a queue-based trigger. So this will be triggered whenever an entry is added to the queue. So there's you cannot have an entry here for this. Again, it's a special case, and this one is again a special case. It works at 4:30 p.m. on the last Sunday of the month every 2 months. So again, this is a special case, and I've highlighted it separately. So what this will do is I'll have my entire processes which are deployed, and I will be able to see in one place all the automations and the trigger intervals, and I'll be able to visualize that when my processes are running, and I will get a single view of the entire processes. So what all is needed for it? Just couple of things. I'll show it to you. The first one is the config file. So let me go to the folder. So we have the config file, which is the normal config file. Let me show it to you. So this will have the token file location. So what is a token file? Token file is a file which will allow us to use the API in order to hit the orchestrator and get the information. So this is my token file. So it has the client ID, refresh token, and grant type is always refresh token. So where do I get this information? Let me show it to you. If I go to the admin, tenant, services, if I go to the orchestrator and API access, there I will be able to see this information which I used in the token file. So I have this client ID, user key. The client ID is what I have mentioned here, and the user key is the refresh token. So that is mentioned here exactly. So this is how we will do it. Now what we will do is the second thing is as we were seeing is the config file. So we have this token file location, the orchestrator URL where you want to hit the for which you are this is the orchestrator URL for which you are getting the information. The default tenant, the tenant where you are able to where you are going to get the information, and the file output part. This is the output file which I just showed to you. This is having the entire information for the entire process. So let's see how to run it. It's very simple. I have already deployed this process on my orchestrator. So I'll go to my assistant uh, and I will run this process. So let's see, just refresh. Okay, so this is my process which is already deployed. So let me start this process. I started this process, and I think I also need to close the config file. Yeah, I have closed it as well. So let the process run, and at the end of the process, I will get a output file here, which will have the information of the entire process. So yeah, I think the process is already completed. I'm seeing the output file generated. So I'm just sorting. Yeah. So its current time is 11:42, and if you see this file is generated at 11:42, and let's see the information. So all my processes as we discussed are listed here. The trigger summary for these processes is there, and the information is as per what we described. So hopefully this will be useful to you, and thank you for watching this video.